Good afternoon. We are Group 4, and today we're presenting our final project. We selected the global retail sales optimization scenario. Executives in this scenario want to understand how to improve global revenue performance across 4 international stores using data-driven decision-making. Our presentation today will cover project overview, sales performance analysis, store and department comparisons, the relationship between holidays, CPI, employment, and temperature with sales, promotional markdown effectiveness, business recommendations. Each slide and section builds towards strategic executive decisions. So, our research objectives, our investigation had 4. First, evaluate total sales performance across 4 global retail locations using weekly data. Second, compare sales differences across stores and promotional markdown categories. Third, analyze how holidays, CPI, employment, and temperature relate to total sales. Fourth, determine when promotional markdowns are most effective to improve strategy. These objectives guided our statistical testing decisions in SPSS. We analyzed 1 year of weekly sales data from 4 international locations. We examined overall sales levels, variability, store differences, promotional markdown patterns, and external economic indicators. The purpose was to move from raw data to executive level decisions and promotional timing and resource allocation. Our analysis framework is what this slide represents. So our analytic cycle of analysis, interpretation, decision-making, and implementation. We used SPSS to perform inferential and predictive statistical analysis to guide strategic recommendations. Our initial analysis is documented in these slides. After interpreting our data, we moved on to strategic decision-making to initiate markdowns across 4 stores. Implementation will heed new results that we will analyze and repeat the cycle. Starting off with our analysis, our overall sales performance. So to begin, we conducted a descriptive and explore analysis in SPSS on total sales and all relevant predictors. We evaluated distribution, mean, standard deviation, variability, and potential outliers. This helped us assess baseline performance and data stability. For our descriptive results, we showed that total annual sales was $4,263,565.31, with average weekly sales being $20,497.91. Our standard deviation was $19,797.98. In conclusion, sales exceeded the 3 million annual benchmark and the 20,000 weekly benchmark. However, the high standard deviation indicates substantial volatility, which tells executives that forecasting and stabilization strategies are necessary.
Store and department sales comparisons. Next, we compared sales across stores and promotional markdown magnitudes across departments. To determine whether sales differed significantly between stores, we conducted a one-way ANOVA in SPSS. An ANOVA allows us to determine statistically significant differences between groups to identify discrepancies and differences that will influence our business division making. ANOVA results. The ANOVA results were statistically significant, and P is less than 0.001. This means total sales are not equal across stores. Post hoc Tukey comparisons revealed Store 3 significantly underperformed. Stores 2 and 4, Dubai, New York, had the highest sales. This satisfies the requirement for at least one ANOVA analysis between groups. So in conclusion, store location has a meaningful impact on revenue. The stores with significant revenue aligned with our other statistics regarding temperature and unemployment. The cities with the higher sales have better weather and unemployment than their counterparts. Promotional markdown comparison. We also examined whether promotional markdown magnitudes were equal across 5 categories. This means markdown values varied considerably, suggesting promotional strategies are not uniform and may need performance alignment. Holiday versus non-holiday. To determine whether seasonal timing impacts revenue, we conducted an independent sample t-test. Dependent variable was total sales, grouping variable was holiday indicator, and mean holiday sales was $46,325.93. Mean non-holiday sales was $18,345.58. The difference was statistically significant with P being less than 0.001. This satisfies the project requirement for at least one t-test. So in conclusion, holidays are a major revenue driver. CPI and total sales. We conducted Pearson correlation analysis between CPI and total sales. The relationship was statistically significant, but weak and inverse. As CPI increases, sales tend to decline slightly. This satisfies the project requirement for at least one correlation analysis. Unemployment and total sales. The relationship between unemployment and sales was weak and not statistically significant. Although there is a slight downward trend, it is not strong enough for predictive decision making.
Next, we looked at temperature and total sales. The temperature showed a statistically significant moderate inverse relationship with total sales. So as the temperature increases, our sales declined. This suggests that seasonal demand affects and influences purchasing behavior. And again, this was reflected within each of the locations, where the locations in warmer climates tended to have greater sales. Munich was not a top performing store and did not outperform Dubai or New York, and this reinforces the ANOVA findings that not all locations contribute equally. Our business recommendations are based on the statistical findings. We think certain stores that generate more revenue consistently, we need to do more research to understand this dynamic alongside our t-test and ANOVA that we've already done. We also need to take account for and rely on CPI and unemployment, but this is a less of a factor, and integrate these sales strategies in return into our stores in a way that matches how they're doing currently. Our first recommendation is to optimize store level strategy. Because store location significantly impacts sales, we recommend performance-based resource allocation. High-performing stores should scale inventory and promotions, and lower-performing stores should receive demand stimulation strategies and increase promotions. Our global considerations are the cultural, economic, and regulatory environments that differ by region, and that will go into factor in our decision-making. We will definitely be prioritizing holiday markdowns. Since holidays significantly increase revenue, promotions should concentrate around holiday periods. Holiday calendars vary internationally, so identifying these in each of the regions our stores are located will be important for us. Finally, we will promote when sales are low. Because temperatures negatively impact sales, aggressive promotions should occur during slower, cooler periods, specifically in those stores with less sales in general. And this aligns with our promotional strategy and natural demand styles to protect profit margins. Fourth, we're going to continue this cycle. After all of this analysis, we want to do it again with the findings we found once we implement this strategy, going back to the cycle created at the beginning of our deck. The strongest practical drivers were store location, holiday timing, and seasonal temperature trends. Economic indicators were statistically significant, but explain only a moderate portion of variation. We recommend continuous benchmarking, cautious monitoring of economic indicators, and integration of statistical analysis into strategic planning. Finally, in conclusion, from our findings, we will prioritize markdowns in Munich and London as they are doing less well than their two counterparts. We'll focus promotions during cooler weather and off-holiday seasons, and higher performing stores will receive lighter markdown adjustments. We'll continuously reassess discrepancies across stores to optimize global revenue. This project demonstrates that statistical analysis supports stronger executive decision-making and global retail strategy.